All right, my FedEx guy showed up with my springs, and I'm doing some checking right now. So this is I bought two sizes from Lee Spring. Keith Rucker gave me the source for these guys right there. They have a website, I think it's leespring.com, and they probably have just about any kind of spring you can imagine. I did use, I looked up compression springs, and based off the old spring here, one of the best ones that I could find, I measured the OD, the ID, the wire diameter, and then the length. So, and then found the closest match that I could. So I got 1 inch in length, and I also bought the next size up, which is 1.125 long. I just wanted to have another one just in case these didn't work for whatever reason. All right, so we've got all 8 of the springs in the clutch plate right here, and we're just going to do a mock-up. And I've decided we're going to repair this as well. We'll talk about that here in just a second, the key in that hole. All right, so we got all 4 springs in there, and this is going to go back on like this, and then this plate gets lined up with those 2 outer keys that's on the pulley itself. All right, and then now our outer plate, this guy here, is going to get slipped on like that, and now it's sitting on the springs there. So looks like it's going to work, I would hope, once we screw the yoke on there, and then that's what will apply the proper positioning that it needs to be at, the adjustment. But I think those springs might work, so we're just going to put it together with it and find out. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do a little bit of machining repair on this piece right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove my 8 springs real quick, and let's get these guys back in the bag. I did not buy extras of these, so I want to make sure that I don't lose any. All right, so this hole that the key goes in, one thing, the key is kind of wore out itself. This is a piece of 5/8 square stock right there, and it's been turned down 1/2 inch. Didn't measure the length. This looks like this could have been a shop-made item because I see bandsaw marks back there. I just wouldn't believe that Monarch would make a piece that looks like that. But anyway, you can see the hole here. It's kind of broken out. That leads me to believe that maybe this broke in the past, and a previous owner made a new key for it. So the key fits in right there, and this will work, but you can see that it rocks. The hole's kind of wallered out. I don't believe the timing on this is really gonna matter where this key lines up on this plate right there. We're not going to broach a new key this. We're just going to use that slot there, and we need to keep that one in its place because it's equally spaced between the adjustment holes there. But as far as where it's at on here, I don't think it's really going to matter. If we go 180 out, you got a set screw on that side, but it should not affect the key being right here. So I think we're just going to go 180 degrees, and since they got the key between the spring holes, we'll go 180, and we're going to machine us a new 1/2 inch hole in between these right there. So we'll set it up in the mill, we'll drill it and ream it to 1/2 inch, and then we're going to take a piece of 5/8 square stock. I got this piece right there that we can turn in the lathe. I've actually got a 5/8 square collet too, so we can put our hardage collet chuck on and turn us a piece and part it off. So let's go ahead and get that part of it fixed up. We got you over on the mill. We're set up on an angled plate. I've already centered the plate here using the key right there. I just leveled the key. All right, and then I found the center of this area right here, and then we're halfway in between right there. So just to get you caught up, we're dead nuts in the middle, and this is where we're going to drill it and ream it. I'm going to drill and ream for 1/2 inch using a long center drill so that I can reach down next to that flange and then get it spotted in. I'm going to use a 31/64 drill bit here to drill it undersize, and then we will go in there with a 1/2 inch chucking reamer to finish finish it to size. And the depth, I'm going to go 5/8 once we establish the round. So it's going to be right about there. I'm just zeroing out my quill DRO up here because I want to go 5/8 deep. I'm not going to take it all the way through. All right, there we go. Now we just need to ream it. All right, here we go with our reamer. Watch your eyeballs. Okay, so this is the old key, but that's how it'll be right there. Even the old key fits much better than the other one there, but we're still going to go ahead and make a new one so that we've got all brand new stuff in there. Went ahead and got the bar stock here just wire brushed clean. There's a burr on it right there. I don't know what that was from, but I just filed that off, so we've got a clean piece of stock now. Let's put it up in the collet, and let me measure how long it is. Got the old key right here that we're going to turn and then part it off, so that should be good right about there. Just going to use my high-speed tool bit to get this turned. Adjust the height first. Turn it a 1/2 inch back. These are 100,000 depth cuts here on the dial. Alright, we got about 40 thousandths to come off of it now. So we're just going to, I measured the bore that we reamed and I finished at 501, so I want to finish this out at exactly 1/2 inch, so it'll be a nice precision fit in that hole. Should be right where we want it, 501.5 or so, and I'm actually at 501, so we're metal to metal. We'll polish it just a little bit with some emery and that'll bring it right on down. Now's a good time to go ahead and file that burr off the face shoulder. Alright, we got our round area polished to exactly 1/2. And we want the head of the key to be 5/16. I'm going to part it off just a little bit over, and then I'm just going to we'll chuck it up in a 1/2 inch collet and give it a face just to kind of make it look pretty. Let me double check that. Yeah, we're just a shade over 5/16. Plus there's clearance there inside the key. All right, let's see if we can do this. Come on, there we go. All right. There's our finished piece right there. Just got to face the back side of it all. All right, that looks nice. I'll go ahead and file it. We'll take it out and go see how it fits. Definitely a precision fit there. You know, it probably wouldn't hurt if I go ahead and it's so close. It's hard to get in there because of the air pressure. I may need to go ahead and just put a real tiny hole through the rest of that so that we can let the air escape and allow the key to go in there like it's supposed to. On second thought, I got it going in there now. Maybe we don't need it. Yeah, okay. It's just a really, really close fit. All right, we're not going to worry about drilling it. We got it. There we go. Let's see. We got our other plate here. And it fits. All right. Yep, and we still got clearance over the top there, so I think we're ready to start putting this thing back together. This is our Monarch clutch hub and backing plate there. This is the key that drives one of the clutch plates. You can see how worn it is. This is a new key that I machined. There's the old hole. You can see just how loose it is. Looks like it got damaged or broken out there at one time and somebody made this. There's the new hole and the new key. With a precision fit. All right, we're going to start assembling this back together. I want to go ahead and point this out too. So this was the drive key in the shaft on the lathe. That's what runs right in here. All right, and you can see just how loose it was. I went ahead and slid it off, and once I did, I noticed the groove in the side and how much it's actually worn. I measured it, and it's measured 20 thousandths undersized, so it's got a lot of wear on that key. So I did have a piece of 3/8 key stock. Went ahead and cut another piece and dressed it, so we're going to have a new drive key there for this right there, and it fits in there so much nicer. I am going to use a touch of the blue moly never sees. These are the set screws, the dog tip set screws that go in here, and then on top of those you also have these set screws here. These are actually hollow set screws that just go right on top of these dog set screws here to lock them in place. So as a security measure that this key does not back out. All right, I'm also going to put a little drop of it on our new key there. Just want a little bit. All right, there we go. And let's go ahead and start putting it back together. All right, there's our new 3/8 key, and by the way, I did purge this pulley bearing in there with some more grease and then just kind of wiped it all out. Put a little bit of never sees there on the shaft, rub it around, and just want everything to be I don't want anything to stick together whenever I have to go into this another time. Go ahead and get this back plate on. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and tighten up our set screws. It should line up with the holes there. Yep. All right, we're going to put our locking set screws back on top of our dog tip set screws. If I can get it started, there we go. A little tricky right there with trying to come out on that thread. I'm going to go ahead and clean this backing plate. I got a little bit of the never sees there on it from handling it, so I'm just making sure that it's clean. Let's see. Let's start with, pretty sure that I have to have this key in order to get the clutch plate on. So let's go ahead and get that in there. I'm concerned that it's a little bit high. I may have to take that down a little bit, but I was also going to take this solvent, make sure that I got the clutch plate clean. I should have checked that. Just trying to keep it center. Looks all right. There we go. Looks like it just did fit over it there. All right, let's go ahead and install these keys. I went ahead and dressed those yesterday so that they would fit in there and not be super tight. These are the keys that go back right here. They're still snug, but one of them was just way too darn tight to get in there and be able to line it up. So I just lapped it on some sandpaper. Pulling it in there nicely. All right, we're getting close. I'm going to go ahead and give the anti-friction material there, our braking material, one more wipe down with my solvent. This is the fast evaporating solvent degreaser. Works really good. Next up is going to be our springs. Get these guys installed and then we'll be ready for our outer clutch plate. All right, all 8 installed. We are ready for the clutch plate now. Making sure we got the oil off of this plate here. All right, now we just got to screw the yoke on. Still got a little bit of our anti-seize there that I'll put some on the threads. I'm going to be starting with these outer threads here on the clutch shaft. got to see if we can get lined up on the this other piece here. All right, we got a little ways to go. Get this thing screwed on. Let me go ahead and we'll put the nut on there, and I remember I've got it wrote down over there, but we measured 5/16, and it looks like we're right there. All right, so we may start with our adjustment right there where it's at. Let's see if it locks in. It should. You see it popping out, the clutch here. Tell you what, it feels a whole lot easier to engage. We're going to start right there with our adjustments. We went just a shade past 5/16. Okay, there we go. All right, I went too far. I can tell because it won't engage there. So let's back out a couple there. That's it. You want it to click in right there. So that's going to be our final adjustment, I think, anyway. All right. This thing is back together. All we got to do is just put our lid on there. I've got that washed, and we'll cover it back up, and then that'll be the end of it there. So I'm in the process of making two videos right now. One is our clutch repair, and the other is draining the oil out of the headstock and flushing it and refilling it. So now that I've got the clutch done here, I can go ahead and continue on with the flushing that I'm going to do on that. But I'm trying to keep the video separated there for ease of searchability on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and just button this back up because I think I've got it right where it needs to be. And I need to go ahead and start the flushing process. So I've already drained the headstock and I've been cleaning it, and now I need to go ahead and I'm going to run it. I'm going to cycle it with some kerosene. I need to get that done, and then drain it again, and then fill it up with some oil. So once I get that done, we will go ahead and I'll bring you back and we'll test out the clutch and see if it's operating just like it's supposed to be. All right, but be sure to check out the other video if you're concerned or interested in the how we drain the oil in the headstock and how I'm cleaning that out there as well. I'm gonna give you all a detailed shot of how this clutch actually operates. So we'll fire it up and you'll see this is the this is the pulley. So this is always going to be spinning with the motor, and then of course the clutch engages the spindle there. is the outer plate there to push back whenever we release the clutch.